You're standing in one of the most beautiful places on Earth, Yellowstone. Golden meadows, hot springs, geysers. But right now, the ground beneath your feet just moved. This place looks like paradise, towering geysers, steam rising from the Earth like the planet breathing. But this isn't just a national park. This is a lid on top of the largest volcanic system on the continent. 30 kilometers below you right now, there's a pocket of molten rock bigger than most cities. It's been sitting there for 640,000 years, slowly building pressure. And scientists have been watching it very, very carefully. The first sign comes from a screen. In a basement lab somewhere in Montana, a seismologist is on her night shift. Routine monitoring, nothing unusual, until every instrument in the room starts screaming. Animals know before we do. Bison stampede through the meadows, not toward something, but away. Elk crash through forests. Birds abandon nests they've kept for years. The ground is telling them something it hasn't told us yet. The caldera floor is rising. Cracks open across the meadows. Steam vents blast from new fissures. Trees tilt and fall as the ground pushes upward beneath them. The crust is fading, and there is nothing anyone can do to stop what comes next. The eruption column rises 40 kilometers into the sky, charcoal black, veined with lightning, wider than the horizon. From 4 states away, you can see it. From orbit, it looks like the planet is bleeding. The pyroclastic flow comes next. A wall of superheated gas and pulverized rock, 700 degrees, moving at 300 kilometers per hour. It hits a river. The water flash boils in an instant. 100 kilometers from the eruption, the ash falls like gray snow. It covers everything. Cars, rooftops, streets. From orbit, the cloud is visible, a massive gray stain spreading across North America, carried by the jet stream. Montana, the Dakotas, Nebraska, gone under the ash. On the ground, chaos. Highways gridlocked, every lane moving in one direction, away. Families walking between cars, ash falling on their shoulders, and nowhere to go. The narrator walks alone through a city that no longer exists. Ash on every surface, streetlights still glowing through the gray. A traffic light changes. And then, at noon, the sky goes dark. Not like night, something worse. The ash cloud has blocked the sun. The city turns on every light it has. The real danger isn't fire. It isn't lava. Under a microscope, volcanic ash looks like shattered glass. Jagged silica shards that slice lung tissue with every breath. Within hours, hospitals are overwhelmed. Turn on the faucet. The water runs gray, thick with ash sediment, undrinkable. The water supply is contaminated. Every emergency room within 500 kilometers is at capacity. Ash inhalation patients on every gurney, in every hallway. Medical staff in full protective equipment working without breaks. Every airport in North America is shut down. Volcanic ash destroys jet engines on contact. The particles melt inside the turbines and re-solidify as glass. The departure boards are walls of red. Volcanic ash is 10 times heavier than snow. Flat roofs begin to sag, then buckle, then collapse. Buildings designed for rain and wind were never built for this. A family sits in their living room. The TV is the only light. A government official is trying to explain what has happened, but the family already knows. They can feel it in the silence outside. And then the lights go out. The ash has clogged power station cooling intakes, shorted transformers, buried solar panels. Block by block, the city goes dark. The narrator sits on the hood of an abandoned car, ash falling on his shoulders. The lantern burns beside him, the only warm light in a gray world. The eruption has become global news. Every broadcast, every language, every country. Maps showing the ash cloud crossing the Atlantic. Europe braces for impact. The heartland is dead. America's breadbasket, buried under ash. Corn, wheat, soy, all of it. The sulfuric acid in the fallout has poisoned the soil. Nothing will grow here for years. The temperature is dropping, not gradually, fast. 10 degrees in a single week. And then it starts to rain. But this rain burns. Sulfur dioxide mixed with atmospheric moisture creates sulfuric acid. It dissolves leaves on contact. The grocery store is empty. Not just low on stock, completely bare. Every shelf, every bin. But here's something nobody expected. The sun sets. The sulfur particles in the stratosphere refract light into colors that shouldn't exist. The most beautiful skies in human history, and they're a symptom of catastrophe. Beneath the surface, the oceans are dying too. The sulfuric acid absorbed by seawater is bleaching coral reefs overnight. The marine food chain is collapsing from the bottom up. Week 2. Military trucks in parking lots. Soldiers handing out single meal packets to lines that stretch around the block. Months pass. The volcanic winter sets in. Cities that never froze are now buried in ice. Skyscrapers coated in frost. Rivers frozen solid. The animals go quiet. Elk lie down in frozen meadows and don't get up. Birds freeze on branches. The silence is the worst part. But underground, people survive. Converted basements, subway stations, shelters, LED lights, canned food, community. Houses buried to the windows. A mailbox flag raised, mail that was never collected. The lantern cuts amber light through the blue-white cold. He's the only thing moving for miles. The volcanic winter is not local. It is everywhere. Rice paddies in Southeast Asia, frozen. Mediterranean harbors. But humans are problem solvers. In volcanic regions, survivors build greenhouses over geothermal vents, using the Earth's own heat to grow food. And then, 2 years later, the light comes back. A single beam of golden sun punches through the gray. Where it hits the snow begins to melt. And from the mud, a single blade of grass. Nature recovers. It always does. Purple wildflowers push through volcanic ash. People come out. They clear the ash. They plant trees. A child runs across a half-cleaned town square, laughing toward her father's arms. The world is different now. Gray where there was green. But the sky is clearing. And somewhere on the distant hills, the faintest green is returning.
Hey guys, I'm the narrator. Watch the next What If in my YouTube channel, JD-OmniTale. There have a lot of updated videos. Subscribe and step into the questions no one else is asking.